The blends be all the right cred, meaning credential. Best of both worlds when we rockin' over pearls in the instrumental. Are you ready? Set. Jump to the rhythm as hard as you can go. Keep it steady. To the letter rock. Turn it up. We giving a show. But can you rock it like rocket fuel? What you talking about? Space or out your mind? But can you rock it like rockets, fool? That's a close encounter of what kind? Gentlemen. When it was time to get it lit, we got it hot like fever. Sick with the talk, passing your receiver. All about running the spot. And you know we got breath control, so no need to take a breather. Cardio kingpin, subjugate the dub play. And you know we can't wait to bring spins. A-star quizzes, A+ the final. Vocals we align, we'll move it all simultaneously over joints.
Coach, it is a sound like no other when they raise that 12th man flag here in Seattle. We just heard it, and that means it's time for football at CenturyLink Field. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Arizona Cardinals and the Seattle Seahawks. The final playoff push is upon us. It's week 12 of the NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports.
Get ready, get ready, get ready.
First carry now for Kareem Hunt. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 12 yards to pick up. Good enough for an Arizona first.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. It's a 6-yard loss on the play, and it'll be a 2nd and long.
Check it out.
They'll run with Hunt on 2nd down. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game. So what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
And able to find Dorsett. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks' 41-yard line. And on this first drive, looks like they want to get that vertical passing game going early.
And they did, and what a warning shot they just fired. If you're not going to back up and play coverage deep, we're going to attack you all game long. And once you adjust to that and you start to back off, then that opens things up underneath. A really nice start for them. Great way to get the game going.
Only 3 there on the screen at 2nd down. And they're getting him involved early.
You feel like they saw something on tape, or they just have a sense with him because he's had a good week of practice or something in that area that they want him involved. Just as you said, they want him to touch it either in the running game or the passing game, but they must like the matchups they're getting.
On 2nd down now, it's Hunt. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down. It's probably a pretty good sign here on the opening drive if your guys from the secondary are coming up and spilling things in the backfield.
How about the adrenaline and aggressiveness that led his eyes to the backfield to run up there and make that tackle, setting a tone early for his defense.
Here's Murray. He'll take a shot for the end zone. And it's incomplete, almost intercepted. He had a great shot of picking that off in the end zone. It brings up 4th down. On 4th down, here's Lachlan Edwards to punt it. Back deep for the Seahawks, Tyler Lockett. And the win last week punted 4 times as this one's away. And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. This is the Oklahoma State alum, Chris Carson. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Tackled by Jordan Willis.
Brings up 2nd and 10 at the 20-yard line.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. On the ground, this is Rashad Penny. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing him further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield.
He gets it to his running back, Rashad Penny.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
On 1st down, Carson. Tackle made there by Jordan Hicks.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On 2nd and 9, Wilson escaping the pressure right, and it's incomplete.
Wilson on the keeper. Thrown away and incomplete. It's now 3rd down and 9 yards to go.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. From the shotgun, Wilson. That's caught by Penny. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. It's a gain of 15, 1st down Seahawks.
I'm not sure that this play was designed for him specifically, but they got through the progressions and got the ball to him. So 2nd catch on the drive. He may not be a primary guy, but they definitely want him involved, don't they?
Absolutely. This early, the opening drive, as you said, 2 catches. So if they can get him going in the passing game, that should open up his running game too.
Hey, 0-0-0.
We're scoreless after 1. Second quarter now from Seattle, and it is the Seahawks with the football here as they've got it with a 1st and 10. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They go back to the ground now with Penny. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. That one good for 14 and a Seahawk first.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. And if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Yo, check 4. Go. Here comes to me, it's me. 14.
Well, throw on 1st down with Wilson. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 25. And they will finally run him down, but not until he brings this one all the way back down inside the 10-yard line. I tell you what, credit is due there on them preventing the touchdown after that interception.
How about him chasing him down and not giving up the pick 6? Because what happens a lot of the time is when you see the interception, you just kind of hang your head a little bit and you momentarily pause because you're frustrated. He shook that off and gave great chase and got it done.
Still a great return and very good field position. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. Slipped one tackle, but no more as he's knocked to the deck behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. So they get pushed back to the 11, and here's 2nd and goal. Here's Hunt. And here he'll get it down to the 7. It'll be a gain of 4, but it'll bring us now to a 3rd and goal.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness, think about running the ball here. Not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing themselves to them as well. I wouldn't run it here, guys. You might want to try throwing it.
This stadium once registered as the loudest roar ever recorded, and you can hear them now. 3rd and goal. Murray now, 3rd and goal. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
3rd and goal, they decided to throw for it, but how about the play defensively? Couldn't find anyone open, left him nowhere to go with the football, had to absorb the sack.
And Gonzalez puts this one through. And the Cardinals have the first points. It's 3-0. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces them to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. It's what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, only gave up 3 points off of that, so it shouldn't be a difficult hole to overcome.
It really shouldn't, as long as they're not listening to the chatter coming from the other side, because when you throw a pick, look, I know defensive backs, they have a tendency to be a little bit loud after they take one away, but they also have a tendency to gamble a little bit more, thinking they'll get a second one. Maybe they can take advantage of that with some double moves.
57 to Mike. Hey, we heavy on the edges,
On 2nd down, here's Penny. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down. Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they're dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, people say bring in your tight end, keep him in. Your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance.
The rushing numbers for Wilson maybe down from earlier in his career, but he's still a threat to go, showing it there, picking up the 1st down. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now Rashad Penny. And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. Xavier Woods, the free safety, up to make the tackle.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. Right now in the 2nd quarter on the defensive side, they got to feel pretty good about what they're doing.
They should embrace the feeling they have now, embrace the way that they're playing, and continue that through the half. I know defensive coordinators, sometimes they overthink it, start wondering how they're going to be attacked. Just keep doing what you're doing because it's working.
On 3rd down, Wilson. He's got Lockett, and he'll be stopped right at midfield. It's a gain of 15, 1st down Seahawks.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
From midfield now, here's Wilson. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he's got this down a yard or two shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Throwing is Wilson. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. And Xavier Woods with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
To begin the drive, here's a handoff to Hunt. And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. The Cardinals going to use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. Murray now on first down. Letting one fly deep for Cooper. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Yeah, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10. Back to the air on 2nd down, it's Murray. Flush to his right. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down.
I remember Philip Dorsett coming out of the University of Miami, ready to hit the league. All we talked about was speed, speed, speed. Just throw it to him, and you've got a great chance at a completion, but not that time.
Not that time. They tried a deep downfield with his speed, but incomplete. Throwing is Murray on 3rd down. He's going to air it out for Dorsett. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. And a great job here. This is going to turn out to be a beauty. This is marked down at about the 3-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. They'll start out on the ground with Carson. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. They'll keep it on the ground again here. And he coughs up the football near his own goal line. And now they'll take a timeout defensively. After the 2nd down play, they burn the timeout, making him sweat out the final few ticks here in the 2nd quarter. Facing the prospect of a punt from their own end zone, they need some cushion. Let's see what they can do on 3rd down. They keep it on the ground. This time it's Penny. And they'll get him down up past the 15-yard line. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game. Thank you, sir. A field goal separates these two teams as we come back for this second half. These offenses seemingly still back at the hotel for the first half. 3-0 our score as the second half gets underway. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And with the way this offense has played thus far, to be frank, they got to feel pretty grateful to be in the ball game.
I would agree with you totally because they've done all of nothing offensively in this game, yet they still find themselves in a position on this drive where a touchdown can give them the lead. They need to take advantage of it.
Yeah, they're still looking for that first touchdown here in the third quarter. All they have so far, the field goal. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Carson. Call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
From the gun on 3rd down, Wilson. And Wilson's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked by Deontay Thompson. And they'll take over inside the 45 at the 44-yard line. On 1st down, they'll run with Hunt. And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. Jadeveon Clowney there on the stop. Good job there keeping him to a short gain. Of course, he's coming off a really terrific performance, reigning NFC Defensive Player of the Week.
And I know people get caught up in, well, if you're the reigning Defensive Player of the Week, you must have made a bunch of spectacular plays. Like you mixed in a few of those, but most of the plays are just like we saw there. Keep them to short gains, make the fundamental tackle.
Well, they tried to swing it out left into the flat, complete, but really nice open field tackling.
And they played that one like a great boxer. They were on their toes on that one. They weren't back on their heels reacting to the play. No, they saw it, came right for it, and made a nice tackle for lost yardage.
To throw on 3rd down, Murray eluding the pressure right. He can run for it, and he will. And he can only get this to the 42-yard line, and that is not near enough. Only able to get back a yard for his efforts, and that leads us to 4th down. So coming on now is the field goal unit. They're going to try for 3, and he'll need all the leg he's got here. This will be spotted just shy of midfield, a 59-yard attempt. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted, but I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yeah.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10. A pretty big opening there on 1st down. 8 yards up to the 33. Just what you want on a 1st down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. Now it's Wilson. And he finds Penny. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. It's a gain of 15, 1st down Seahawks.
And this is why trying to cover the angle route is so difficult. Anyone playing the linebacker position, when they see a running back out of the backfield widen, because he heads towards the flat first, oftentimes you widen too much and overcommit. He cuts up inside, and that's what we saw there. A nice pickup for a 1st down.
Penny, a 1st down carry, and he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. Another example of just a dominant performance by this defense.
Yeah, you hear all the time about teams that try to steal signals from the other side and try and learn their signs and their tendencies. It's almost like they get the answers to the exam the night before and were well prepared for this final.
On 2nd and 12, Wilson, he lets it fly for Lockett. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked by Deontay Thompson, and he'll return it to the 24-yard line. So their woes on offense continue. That's the 2nd pick thrown here in the 3rd quarter.
And we know it was ill-advised, but that was an opportunity to help them get back into the game. Instead, he throws another interception, and now their task is even tougher.
Check three.
After the turnover, here's Murray. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jaron Reed in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. On the counter, Hunt. And he'll get this up over the 25 to the 26.
Getting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. It'll be a nickel look here for the Seahawks on 3rd down.
Blue down, blue down. Mike 9, Mike 9. I'm coming, I'm coming, I'm coming. Nine to Mike, nine to Mike. Come to my work.
From the gun on 3rd down, Murray. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jaron Reed, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. Here's Lachlan Edwards now. As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. Returnable for Lockett. And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. And that'll do it for the end of the 2nd quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. I tell you what, it's kind of hard to imagine. They have not scored a single point, and yet they're in this position, a touchdown drive here, and they're in the lead.
Normally, when you have 0 on your side of the ledger on the scoreboard, you're a little bit discouraged. But when they look over and see their opponents, they don't see a number that's way out there. They don't see a number they can't attain. In fact, they can get it right here on this drive and potentially take the lead.
Ain't no such thing as a loss. We take a win.
From the 45 on 2nd down, Wilson. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass.
Mike's 50, Mike's 50. 14, find it.
Wilson leaves this one with Penning. And he gets it down to the 48, enough for the first. Bit of a surprise. They ran it on 3rd and medium. Proved to be the right call. 1st and 10. I tell you, they didn't give it to him much through the first 3 quarters, but when they have, he's been efficient. Maybe they ride him more here down the stretch.
Yeah, I'm not sure it was actually in the game plan for him to have as few carries as he has, but it might play out really well for them now. As you noted, if they want to ride him down the stretch, he should have fresh legs.
It's a gain of 12, 1st down Seahawks. Even though this offense doesn't have a single point to its name, they're not totally out of this game yet. A touchdown here, they could be in business.
And how about that last play? Now they've got momentum going, so you know I'm a big advocate. Get back on the line of scrimmage. Throw another play at them while you've got them rocked on their heels.
And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. 25 yards to pick up there, and also a 1st down.
1st and 10 at the 11-yard line.
Finally, a first red zone opportunity for these guys. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 11. On the run, it's Penning. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, got to like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a 1st down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
Now it's Carson. And he'll get this one back to the 5-yard line, but no further than that. They'll say no gain on the play there. Now it'll be 3rd down. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down.
57.
Out of the gun, here's Wilson. Flushed out right. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces fourth down. Now it's Wilson, escaping the pressure right. Tyler Lockett there to make the grab, as his guys are an extra point away now from taking the lead here in the fourth. Jason Myers now for the extra point. And they have taken the lead here in this fourth quarter. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
The Cardinals take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. They'll run again with Hunt. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway.
You better be ready. Don't be scared of it. He's cracked. He's checking crack.
They'll try to run for the first down with Hunt. And an alley to run. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. Less than 2 minutes to play. Down to the wire we go in a 1-point game. So the Cardinals, they've got the football here as we get you reset. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive. On first down, they look downfield, and it's complete. And he is down deep into Seattle territory. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts, and they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. 2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit them, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. They run the counter. Hunt. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. Now the Seahawks call the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. They come out here in the I. From the 2 now, 2nd and goal.
Watch the safety creep.
They'll try to run with Hunt, and he is in for 6. Touchdown, Cardinals. Kareem Hunt with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Cardinals have retaken the lead. So here's a big play for the Cardinals as they'll go for 2.
Mike T right here, guys. Mike T. Let's set a tone, fellas. Let's set a tone.
To throw is Murray. And he will get into the end zone for the 2 points. And that helps. That gives them a 7-point lead. Now after the touchdown, here's Gonzalez on to kick it away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, It's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. I don't know that those medium 5-ish yard gains are going to do it right now. Probably should have dropped it, right?
Yeah, that way you save more time on the clock. But I know receivers, they think they can catch it and break a tackle and turn it into a big gain.
Mike 58 right there. Now let's run.
Throwing now is Wilson. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. That would have been a tough catch, but in this 2-minute drill, those are the ones you really hope your guys come up with.
Yeah, you don't want your guy to be able to take the out because it was a tough catch. You needed him to come up with that one because if he does, it alters the perspective of this 2-minute drill, doesn't it?
This throw complete, Wilson finding Lockett. It's a gain of 12, 1st down Seahawks. They got exactly what they wanted there. Out route, catch, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
And I have to criticize defense here because you know the situation. You want to keep them in bounds and have the clock run. So I'm sitting on the outside portion of the field and not letting them throw an out route. Throw anything inside and I'll make the tackle. An out route? That's not the way you're supposed to.
And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Buda Baker with a pick. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran a wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing them.
1st down, Arizona.
Murray's going to look to throw this thing. They'll roll him out right. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Now the Seahawks forced to use their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with an even 20 seconds left to go. Now following the sack, they'll come up here on a 2nd down and 12. They'll toss it to Hunt. Nifty move there on the run, but ultimately brought down at the 25. After getting stuffed on 1st down, not much better there. 2-yard gain.
2-yard gain on the play. And it's 3rd down.
So it's a win here for the Arizona Cardinals, and it was their defense that really paved the way to this victory as they allowed the 1 touchdown, and that was all she wrote.
Almost want to do the defense chant right now, right? Defense with a couple of claps in there, but no one wants to hear that from me. Let's just talk about how they got it done, though. When you take care of every aspect of the game, shut down the run, control the airways, right? Make sure the quarterback is harassed. This is the type of performance you get. They can't fashion together any offense, no consistency, and they just took control.
So for the Cardinals, they move back over 500 now at 6-5, and they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for Seattle, their luck may have run out as they fall to 4-7 now in the year. And they'll be off to Minneapolis next week for a look at new U.S. Bank Stadium and a date with the Vikings. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.